everyone, it's Amy Sherman from MLive and Michigan's Best, and I'm so happy to continue our series, Founders Crafted in Michigan. We love the artists, businesses, and people that are doing cool things all across the state of Michigan. And right now I'm really excited to bring to you James Sofranko, who is the artistic director of the Grand Rapids Ballet Company, which is actually Michigan's only professional company here in the state. I didn't know that, James, that we only had one. You would think it would be Detroit, but it's actually Grand Rapids.
That's right. Yeah, we're very proud of that. We'd be happy if there were more ballet companies in the state, but for right now, we are the only one. So yeah, we definitely try to reach as many people across all of Michigan as we can.
Let me ask you, why is a ballet company so important to a community?
Well, ballet is one of those artistic traditions, I'd say, that, I've got a window here. Okay.
This is just part of what's happening here during these times. We got you.
Well, I think along with music and art, ballet has this kind of steeped tradition, a very rich history, and if we don't continue it, it's a live art form, even more so, you could argue, than like classical music, where you can write down the notes. So in ballet, it's very difficult to notate exactly what dance is. You have to learn it. Most choreographers don't allow you to even learn it from a video, now that there's video. You have to learn it from somebody who was taught it from somebody else. So it gets passed down from generation to generation. So I think it's really important that we have to carry that mantle here for the people of Michigan and Grand Rapids, for the students. You can, try to learn on YouTube and such, and we're doing our best, of course, virtually, but there's nothing that quite beats learning it from that person who learned it from somebody else directly. So it's just really important. It is a very fine art form. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of craft. Obviously the point shoes that the ladies dance on. We've been doing this our entire lives. We've dedicated our whole life to perfecting this art form and to keeping it alive, basically, for the next generation, so we can teach it. And that's kind of, I've moved from being a dancer. I was a dancer at the San Francisco Ballet for many, many years. I learned from some amazing people there, choreographers from all over the world, people who came from the best companies in the world. San Francisco Ballet is way up there in terms of reputation in the dance community. And so I'm trying to bring some of that here to Grand Rapids, calling a lot of my choreographer friends, imparting some of the things that I've learned throughout my years, and just, I think, keeping it alive and having the people of Grand Rapids know that we have this connection to something greater than us. There is this art form out there that has, you can talk about great achievements of humankind. You can talk about architecture. You can talk about miracles of medicine. But I think also in that same kind of category, you should put works of art, pieces of music by Beethoven and Bach, and artistic explorations on the canvas by Rothko and Leonardo da Vinci. But you need to put ballet up there too, with George Balanchine and Marius Petipa, Swan Lake, The Nutcracker, Serenade. I mean, onto like some modern classics too. These are like really influential and important pieces of art that define us as a society and as human beings. And I think I'm realizing now, as I become older, and I'm not just the vessel, I'm not just the instrument for the choreographers anymore. I'm feeling the weight of that responsibility, especially now when we have this coronavirus, to keep the art form alive. And I think we are lucky. Everyone in Grand Rapids is lucky to have a professional company of this caliber. We have a school, but we're not just a school. We have 18 fully professional company members who came to live and work in Grand Rapids from all over the world. We have international dancers as well. So it is really special to have it. And I think we do feel the love from the people that know about us, but it's true when people say, oh, we have a ballet company, or we're the only professional ballet company in Michigan. It's kind of an aha moment, like, wow, I'm proud of that fact. And even if they've never seen ballet. But if you came and saw it or watched us online, I think you would feel that pride even more so.
Well, I can feel the passion in your voice and what you're saying, and what you guys are doing is such an amazing thing. One of the things that I've always been super intrigued by, I live right in East Town, so I live right around the corner from some of your facilities and things like that. I love that you are really focused on bringing up the next generation of dancers. And that's been such a big thing for you guys, like that you have the classes. And I know right now during COVID, you guys are doing classes out in the parking lot and stuff like that. Like, talk to me a little bit about why that is a big thing for the GR Ballet Company.
Sure. Yeah, we, well, Founders, I know you're talking about this Founders series.
Yeah, we love them.
They're next door neighbors. Yeah, we love Founders. It's a little dangerous that they're right across the street. For me, half an hour is really.
Go after rehearsals? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, anytime you can find me there. So yeah, they've been really generous to let us use the parking lot for some of our school classes. I just came from a rehearsal outside in our backyard, actually in the grass. We have some dancers actually working on some parks concerts. So we're collaborating with the GR Symphony as well, some musicians and some pop-up performances throughout the park. So we're rehearsing in the grass outside too. So we're really being creative. But yes, keeping the school going to keep that next generation inspired, because, you know, a year is a long time to a teenager. And
Yeah.
a lot can happen in a year, especially those are your formative years of training. So we're doing our best to keep up as much connection with them as possible. We had a 4-week summer program that we did all completely virtually, which I taught in as well. And we had a great turnout for that. We are planning to bring students in small groups back into our studios for a fall term. Of course, we're gonna, you know, keep an eye on how we can do that safely and keep in line with the governor's orders, et cetera. But yeah, also within the company's ranks, which, you know, they're not students anymore, so they're older, but they are by nature, dancers are younger. I mean, they're professional athletes, so you can't dance much past, you know, you can dance past 40, but it's kind of like an unwritten rule. Like 40 is like, wow, if you made it to 40, that's pretty good. So yeah, your career is finite. So what are you going to do after that? So I've begun in this one program every year called Jumpstart. I've offered all of our dancers to the opportunity to choreograph and to try to be on the other side of the room. It's something that I kind of wish I had when I was a dancer. Many times dancers are expected to just bam, start teaching or start choreographing the minute you stop performing. And sometimes that works great. Sometimes it doesn't work as well. But I would have wished on having more opportunity to kind of smooth that transition, to give myself experience and opportunity to discover what I like to do. Maybe I prefer teaching. Maybe I prefer choreographing. Maybe I prefer just coaching a piece that's already been choreographed. So there's lots of elements of how to be on the other side of the studio and to give these dancers a future past just their performance on the stage.
Well, and I love that. I love that you're thinking that's kind of, it sounds like that's kind of where you're taking your career now, but in the sense of you're also hoping that you can share a different path maybe for the dancers that are currently in the system.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting
kind of a little bit of a system, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're getting a little philosophical here, which I guess is fine because like we're talking about, like I'm moving past, I'm like 2 years past my performing career now, and the weight of that responsibility is strong. I feel strongly that we need to continue dance, and who's going to do it when I'm gone? So those are the dancers that are dancing now. So I'm trying to give them as many resources in terms of their experience that they can use to push that art form forward. After I'm gone.
So James, so you were a professional dancer in San Francisco, is that correct?
Yes.
And then you came to Grand Rapids, but were you dancing in Grand Rapids, or did you come in the new role of more of an artistic director?
Yeah, I was offered the job while I was still dancing in San Francisco Ballet, so I decided that would be a good time to
you hit 40. You hit 40.
I hit 40, or good, yeah. Um, so I decided this was a good opportunity, and I didn't want to pass it up because, like I said, it is a little bit hard, that transition from performing to like now what. And there's a little bit of a lull. I have a family, and we have 2 kids too. So my wife and our 2 kids, we moved out here because this was going to be a great like next step, and it was going to be pretty easy transition wise in terms of career. You know, moving from San Francisco to Grand Rapids was a bit of a change, especially for
A
my wife,
great
who
change, let's be
was
honest.
born and raised in Southern California. But yes, many wonderful things about being here. We have a lovely home, and our kids are loving it, and we love exploring Michigan, especially in the summer too. So, and the place itself is really great. Like getting to meet all the people who support the ballet, the board members who are really involved, getting getting to meet Marcella Leninger at the symphony, and other people at the opera, and through Art Prize. We've done a lot of collaborations in the 2 years that I've been here, and I really like kind of getting us out into the community more that way too, not just in our own little bubble of the ballet.
Yeah, I will say that I think that in Grand Rapids, collaborations between different organizations it's always easy. It seems like maybe easier than in a big city where I mean, we are always so welcome to that kind of collaboration. Have you found that?
I have found that. I was always wondering why we never danced with the San Francisco Symphony and San Francisco Ballet. I mean, partially because we had our own ballet orchestra, because we had so many performances. There's no way the symphony could perform all of our ballet performances as well. But you know, like you would think there could be more opportunities every once in a while or something. But yeah, I don't know exactly the reason why, but yeah, it definitely feels a lot more collaborative in this city. Maybe a little bit smaller town has that feel like we're all in this together, which is nice.
Midwest, baby, it's the Midwest.
Exactly. Logistics always come into play, and there's always the devil in the details, but you know, we're making it work. We're going to do a show with the symphony coming up this fall, actually, which I don't think is announced yet, so oh well.
Okay, so
breaking
news. Well, I was just going to ask you though, this has been a crazy time, right, for all of us, obviously, and you guys are in an interactive, you know, thing. What's been happening with dance? We can't come see performances in a traditional sense. So what does it look like now?
So as you might imagine, a lot of it has gone to the screen. We have gone to filming. We've gone to live streaming. The dance film genre was a thing before this COVID thing hit, but it's becoming an even more big deal now. You know, where you collaborate with a filmmaker and you set up you make like a little mini movie or a music video, whatever you kind of want to call it. But using TikTok, using dancers kind of in extraordinary settings, in unusual settings for dancers. Like I said, we're outside in the grass in our sneakers right now, which is not anything that I don't think they've ever done that for. Like,
but I kind of love that.
For me before, it's always been, you know, I'm sure people do it in the park, you know, on their own, but I've never actually asked them to do that for the ballet. So, you know, we're trying to embrace all the new challenges and make the best of it. But yeah, you'll see a lot of us virtually online this year. Any chance we can, you know, kind of do something live, like I mentioned, these things in the parks, they're pop-up concerts. We can't really promote them because we can't have more than 100 people gather per the governor's order right now. So it's a little spontaneous. If you check your like neighborhood parks association Facebook page, they should be posting it kind of like the day before. That'll be lasting for like the next 2 weeks. We're also working because we postponed our gala. We're working to bring the ballet to people's homes individually. So we're talking about laying down a portable floor, and doing kind of like a private dance performance for you and your family at your house.
Seriously? So, okay, I super love that idea. Can you come to my house?
Yeah, sign up.
That's really cool. And so that's kind of partially not just to expose people to the ballet, but also a fundraiser.
Yes, that is kind of like taking the place of our gala for the fall, since we did move the like in-person event to the spring for now. So that's a
Got
fundraiser too. But yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do as much as we can outdoors, as long as we can, until the weather shuts us down. Of
I
course.
think that's fantastic. I love that. That's fantastic. So,
Well, I mean, and especially for some of our virtual programs, we're going to be doing a lot of like filming. And like I said, we're going to be trying to take advantage of not only our stage where we have lots of lighting and theatrical elements, but trying to use the outdoor space, putting dancers in unusual spots, which I think is nice to see. And you kind of don't imagine dancers like jumping, past the bridge or something. I don't know. So there's lots of different opportunities out there.
I think that's really cool. It's kind of, in a way, it's forcing you to think about maybe your dance a little bit different, right?
Yeah, for sure. I usually think pretty straightforward about like, okay, it has to be a live performance. This person has to enter here and then needs a minute break before they come on again. But now, like, if we're going to film a movie, that person can do a take and they can be dancing the whole time. Like, so there's things about it that are kind of exciting. We're actually going to do a lot of that kind of like movie magic for our Nutcracker special. So we're gathering dancers into small pods so that we don't have more than 4 dancers dancing at any one time together, to make sure that we keep people safe and exposed to less people. But we're still going to make some of our Nutcracker scenes look as though they've got a full stage.
Okay.
So we're going to do that with like camera techniques and overlaying different shots on top of each other.
Oh, that's really exciting. I love it. Now that will be coming out in December for the holidays, or?
That'll be our like Nutcracker special.
Your virtual Nutcracker.
Exactly.
Now, who is the mother in the Nutcracker where all the dancers come out of her dress? Right?
We don't have that in the current version, but they did used to have that, and so people have told me like I used to be Mother Ginger.
Yes.
And people love that Mother Ginger, and I think they even had like you could like donate and become the Mother Ginger.
Exactly. Right.
This is before I got here, but maybe we should bring that
James,
back.
you might want to bring that back, okay? She was very popular, Mother Ginger.
Mother Ginger.
That's fantastic. Well, I do love that you're doing all these different things to try to, maintain the ballet and to make sure it's still relevant, to make sure you're still out there in the community. I mean, whether it's from classes in the grass to online virtual things. What else can people look forward to this fall and winter from the Grand Rapids Ballet Company?
Well, we have our first virtual program will be coming out probably in November. We don't have the dates exactly set for that yet, but we're going to be, I'm still going to be engaging some choreographers to create brand new work on us, even though they will be doing it via Zoom meeting like we're having right now. So it's going to be a bit of a wild ride. We've got kind of like little mini TV stations set up in every studio. So to see like what a choreographer can come up with when they're kind of having to just do it through this computer system, I think it's going to be exciting in a way. I don't know if it's ever going to be like replacing the fact, but to know that we can do it, I think it's going to be a boost to our confidence about it. I think we would probably be very hesitant into it if COVID had not done it, be like, oh no, well, why would you ever do that? But like, when there's a will, there's a way. When you have a challenge, you have to overcome it. And I think these the dancers are going to be really hungry for it. We, like I said, just for these neighborhood parks concerts that we've had a couple dances at a time back rehearsing, they've been really excited about being back in the studio, about moving again. And it's actually been a little emotional to see them in person, to see them moving together in unison. And all this work that I've been doing all summer is just, like kind of like on the computer the whole time, trying to figure out how we can make this work, how we can pay for it, to keep the organization solvent. But when you see the art, when you see the dancers coming back and doing what they do best, and it really does kind of bring up something inside you that's indescribable. And then in that one moment, I was like, oh yeah, it's all worth it. So it's good to have those moments. And I hope you guys have those moments too when you watch what we present online.
I like it. Well, it might not be live always, but there is definitely the passion behind the Grand Rapids Ballet Company, right, James?
Yes, definitely. And I think that is going to come through on the stage. Some of our things this fall may, like I said, this symphony concert we have will probably be a live stream actually. So it will be live. Some of our other programs we will film in chunks, like I said, so we can kind of incorporate the movie magic in there. So we're going to do pretty much everything we can. I'm not saying no to anything, basically.
That's perfect. You got to say yes to everything, right?
That's right.
That's like in my entire life motto. Just say yes.
Yeah, if you keep your mind open, if you keep the opportunities out there and you see what comes at you, and we're going to take it and make the best of it.
I love that. Well, James, if people want to get more information about the Grand Rapids Ballet Company, where do they go?
Right to our website, grballet.com. We will have some information very soon about how you can subscribe to our whole season. Not only will you get our performances, but you'll get a lot of our behind the scenes interviews, some ways to kind of peek into some rehearsals or classes, some exclusive things just for subscribers. So we're going to try to give a lot of perks like that too, some kind of like extra bonus content. But then of course there'll be the virtual performances as well, which will be a real highlight for me to see all that work come to fruition on the
Absolutely. I'm super looking forward to it. I love it. Well, James Sofranko, the artistic director from the Grand Rapids Ballet Company, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Amy.
If you want to get more information about the Founders Crafted in Michigan campaign, you want to head to mlive.com.